Alrighty. Well, here we are. Thank you for joining me Tuesday. If you're joining this off Restream, welcome. Glad to have you here. We are here to talk about marketing. In fact, simple marketing to be specific. We want to keep it as basic as possible so that way we can really set a foundation to allow you and everyone else, all these small businesses that are out there, we want to make sure that you can build a business on this, and marketing is the way to do it. Getting set up, looks like tech is working, that is good. This is live, so please make sure you comment over on YouTube. I can see your chats, I can see your questions. Most questions we will mess with towards the end of the talk, but you can certainly ask them and let me know like how things are going. Let me know what is resonating with you and questions and things that you have as we go along. That's why it's live. In fact, maybe next time we do it, we'll do it over Zoom. I'd love to be able to see your faces and things as well. But for now, it's me in a room talking marketing, which that'll work. I guess that'll work. So what are we going to go over today? Let me just give you a rundown as we kind of get started here. This is called Simple Marketing. And I call it Simple Marketing, Revenge of the Little Guy specifically, which is we are the little guy. Our small businesses, we are the little guy. And we are in this world where there's all kinds of marketing company, big businesses that are out to take your efforts, your vital efforts, your risks, and they're just trying to take as much from what you do as possible. And it's time that we flip that around. It's time that we get and return to the way it should be, the little guy, our efforts, getting us our rewards and getting us what we want in life. So that's exactly what we're going to be talking about. And that's why it's Revenge of the Little Guy. So I believe, and I have experienced in my own life, that marketing is like a genie. And if you can tell it what you want, marketing is how you get it. And so what we're going to be talking about today is very much a wish machine. How can you get what you want in life? That is what we're going to be talking about. So we're going to talk about what is marketing. We're going to talk about what marketing is not. Then we're also going to talk about like, what is perfection? What is this if we do it well? What is ideal marketing? And then finally, we're going to talk about the two required pieces of marketing. Chances are you're already doing a lot of the things you need to be a marketer. In fact, marketing is just a natural thing that we do as humans. And we're already doing often one or both of the pieces. But if we know them, if we know what they are, we can actually do them better. So we're going to talk about those. And then finally, we're going to talk about how to get good at it. If we know exactly what the foundation is, the pieces that make up marketing, we can get good at marketing. We're going to put you on the path to be able to do that. And then what we talk about with marketing, this is about building your like wealth. Your business is your asset. It's something that can be very, very valuable, both as something that generates revenue for you, but then if you ever think about selling it or something, like how can you build that value? How can you make sure that whatever you build has like as much value as possible to be able to sell or to hold on and generate revenue from? Like we're going to talk about that, as well as how to market, how to get business without actually spending money. Marketing, because it's so basic, you can market without spending money. We're going to talk about that as well. And then we'll finally go through and we'll talk about the common marketing. Anything you have, feel free to mention in the chat, like, what are you doing as far as marketing? I want to make sure that we talk about it. I'll fit it into the framework as we get going. So it's a good talk. So I believe that marketing can get you whatever it is that you want in life. I'm Drew Wash, and I am known in the towing industry as the guy that put my house in the line, flew out to California, and bought Towing.com to share it with the towing industry. And that's exactly what I've done is with towing. But prior to towing, I've ran numerous businesses, started them, and I've had 5 businesses that have been $1 million businesses. So $1 million or more in revenue. So it spread amongst numerous different industries as well. So when I talk about marketing, it's not just from Towing.com perspective, it's actually quite like just marketing, the core pieces of it. So this is very much Revenge of the Little Guy. This me, my family, very much those who I spend and work for. So I told you that marketing is about ideal life, and it is about being able to get whatever it is that you want from your life. And marketing done well can get you anything that you want in life. So because of this, I want to make sure that we start with the foundation, and that is what is your ideal life? What are you looking to do in your life? What do you want to accomplish? How do you want to be represented in your community? What kind of security do you want for your family? What role do you see your business having in the future? If you can picture all of that, that is what marketing is meant to be a vehicle to do. It's meant to be able to get you to that. And in fact, if you can go ahead and think of that ideal life, then the question becomes, well, how do you get to it? How do you actually accomplish that? How do you get to that? And that is the beauty. That is how we know this is marketing, because once you have where you want to go, now you have a problem that you're trying to figure out. So specifically for towers, you've probably thought, hey, I'm going to run a towing company. I'm going to create my ideal life by running my towing company. So let's say that your ideal life involves, you want $1 million. You want your company to make $1 million in revenue, or maybe you even want profits of $1 million. Just something. Once you know a way that you're can approach your ideal life, then what you're doing is creating steps on the way there. And as you kind of say, okay, my ideal life looks like me being respected in my community. I own my home. I have security for my family. And in order to do this, I would need, say, $1 million business. So maybe that's what the triangle here is like $1 million business. Maybe the blue circle there is I need to make sure that I'm breaking even, that my business is secure, that I'm paying my bills, that I'm not stressed up, staring at the ceiling, not being able to sleep at night. So we have this road that we have to go, and that becomes a question of, okay, well, the problem is I'm not breaking even. I'm not currently making money. How do we solve for that problem? Well, that is literally what we're out to do. We have a problem. How do we break even? How do we make money? And then we have the solution on the other side. It's out there somewhere. And now we're just looking for a way to accomplish it. And then trying to avoid the trolls on the way. Well, life's journey is recognizing problems and then searching for solutions. So this is already why marketing is just it's inherent to what we do, because you're already living, you have problems and you're searching for solutions. Well, it turns out that this is what marketing is. Marketing is very much, and that is cut off a little bit, but marketing is very much a matter of the problem and the solution. And I'm going to try to resize this a little bit. I'm not sure why we got cut off there, but I want to make sure that we can see it, not just for now, but for later as well. So marketing is the bridge between a problem and a solution. So in your business with as a towing company, you have customers, they're broke down. They're trying to get somewhere. They're trying to get on with their life. So now they have this problem and they're looking for a solution. Here you are as the tower, the hero of the day, coming in and saving them. And this is all marketing is problem. Marketing is the bridge to the solution. Keep this in mind. That is what marketing is. And so if you're trying to get the break even, you need to find the bridge. You need to use marketing to be able to get to the solution. You have a problem. How do I get there? solution, problem solution. And we do this constantly. This is how we will eventually get to our ideal life, is by using the problem solution marketing bridges. So first thing I want to do though is businesses understand that marketing matters to your company, and they will tell you that they are the solution. So Google, as you know, they will tell you, and they tell you that, hey, they're the solution. You just need to be on Google, and that they will get you to where you want to go. And you'll find out that in some cases, yeah, absolutely, marketing services and various things can in fact get you to the place that you want to go. But unless you understand the pieces that are happening as you cross the bridge, what ends up happening is, especially in the case of Google, is you end up on the Google treadmill, and you find out that eventually your goal, what you're trying to accomplish, is so big that you can't actually get there. You're just instead running on a treadmill, and you're just generating all this effort to keep the lights on over at Google. You're paying to keep Google's business going versus making your dreams come true. It's called the Google chokehold. Are you experiencing that currently? A lot of people either love or hate Google. And if you love them, it's because you've not went for something big enough to where you've gotten on their treadmill. So first thing I want to make sure I mention is Google's that bridge, but Google is not marketing. They're not marketing. They have a role within marketing, but they are not marketing. So a lot of times people will just kind of think, in fact, I know that as a tower, you get calls all the time, from people that are saying, hey, you pay me, I'll get you on Google, pay me. They are trying to help maybe, but that is not marketing. That does not guarantee success. And that's why you have so many different companies out there that are spamming you to get the money, but realistically, it doesn't get you the results. You're back here on the treadmill. So Google's not marketing. So what are they? Well, Google is a troll. Google's a troll. They're underneath the bridge between the problem and the solution, and they're there to get as much money as possible from going across the bridge. Okay, that's what Google's after, right? They're this giant corporation, for profit. They want to make as much money as possible. So people that are looking for a solution, when you go across to Google, their job is to make as much money as possible from it, because that's what they're doing. They're just sitting there trolling and taking all that money. So we need to watch out for trolls, and we'll talk a little bit about this as we get going, or as we continue to go. So marketing is problem solution, and it's more than that though. There is the best possible kind of marketing. There is a right and a wrong. There is maybe what you need to do to survive today, but then there's also a version of marketing that is like perfection. So we want to talk about that. We want to know where the destination, what is it we're trying to accomplish. So we want to pursue ideal marketing. How can we, go over the bridges in our life and get ideal marketing? So what is it? Realistically, one thing we know for certain is it has no trolls, right? We don't want somebody between us and our solution that is taking a bunch of money from what our efforts. So we know it doesn't have trolls. And ideal marketing, in this messy slide here, ideal marketing is when the problem immediately equals the solution. So it's when somebody thinks or experiences a problem, they immediately know the solution they're going to. For example, if you have a runny nose, you might ask somebody for a Kleenex, and that Kleenex is your solution, right? That's actually somebody's brand, but because you have a runny nose, you are so used to that brand being the solution, you think of that brand, Kleenex, as the solution. So immediately when you have the problem, you have the solution. And that's what we're after. That's the ideal way to do marketing for your company as well is, hey, my car's broke down. I have a jump start, whatever it is. I need this specific solution. They're just my guy. They're just who I go to. So ideal marketing is where the problem equals the solution. And then, of course, it avoids trolls. So with that, we can transverse over to and travel our life's journey over to our ideal life. And that's what we're after here with marketing. So how do we do this? How do we build this bridge? How do we market? Well, the beauty of marketing, and in the many years that I've been doing marketing, I am a marketer. Towing.com is one of my businesses, but it is a marketing business because I'm a marketer and my businesses are marketing businesses. What I've found is that there's just two things that you need, two buckets that you need to add to. And the small business marketing framework that I'm going to talk about, that we're going to build into you, is the two-bucket marketing framework. And the first bucket is awareness. Most people, we know this one instinctively. Like a lot of times you might be thinking, oh, isn't marketing advertising? Well, advertising is often a focus on awareness. Awareness being like being known. Somebody has to know about you before they can ever use you. They have to know specifically about your solution. Like knowing about you specifically doesn't maybe do anything, but they need to know about your solution. So if I was to ask, and the example I use for this is, if I was to ask, what's the best restaurant? You might think of a restaurant that is, your favorite one. Maybe it's a fancy restaurant. I like the steaks at Ruth's Chris, and my daughter's name is Ruth, so that's a little connection I have. The question becomes like, okay, what's the best restaurant? Well, in reality, the best restaurant, if you measure it by number of customers, is McDonald's. McDonald's, billions and billions served. McDonald's is the perfect example of awareness. We all know about McDonald's. They spend like $100 million a year to tell you McDonald's, 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 right? Like they just pound it into your head. Even though all the news and the way we talk about it between ourselves is very much like I try to avoid McDonald's as much as possible. We don't think very highly of McDonald's, yet so many of us go there because it's just awareness. We're just so aware that, hey, if I just need to be able to get in and out and get some food, McDonald's is there. And they're at every, so many exits of the highway and stuff. They are an awareness play. That is just, when you think of awareness, think of McDonald's. You see them everywhere. So the first bucket is awareness, and we'll see how these come together here in a moment. But first, I want to mention the second bucket, which is authority, the authority bucket. So the best way I know to explain the authority bucket is I have my daughter, she's now 10, but when she was 5, I went to the kitchen, and you ever just like spend a bunch of time making a sandwich, like not just like a basic sandwich, but you make like a big fancy sandwich and you layer on the meat and the condiments and the lettuce, even slice up some tomato, and you make this giant nice sandwich, and you've had this long day, and you take your sandwich and you go and you finally get to sit on the couch. You sit on the couch and you're just like, life is good. And then you realize and remember that you do not have something to drink. So you're like, hey, now what? Now you have a problem, right? So now we have a problem, and that is we need something to drink, but we're on the couch and we don't want to move. If you've been there, well, I had this experience, and I'm like, hey, is anybody up out in the kitchen, or can anybody willing to get me a glass of milk? Like, just somebody, please save me. Don't make me get back up off the couch. And my little daughter, when she was 5, was like, "Oh, Daddy, I'll get the milk. I'll get you some milk." And I'm like, "Ooh." Okay, so little 5-year-old goes to the fridge. If she can even reach, she opens the door. She reaches in and gets the milk out. And it's like, I'm just running this in my head thinking, okay, she's going to twist it off and like try to pour it into a cup. It's going to end up all over the counter. And even though she's offering a solution to get me my milk, I don't believe that she is capable of actually getting my milk without making a giant mess, right? I just imagine she'd be spilling, dumping the milk and it'd end up all over the counter. And suddenly my little problem of needing something to drink turns into this much bigger problem. Well, that is authority. Authority is like you being able to do the work and then the customer believing that you're capable of doing the work and not creating a bigger issue. So that is what the authority bucket is. This is anything that shows the world that you're capable of accomplishing the work. You're able to provide the solution. It's actually way more difficult than what you might think. This is often where a lot of companies will fail. They think they just need to get the name out there, but in fact, it's not just getting your name out there. You need to, in fact, get your authority out there. You need to present your solution in a way that they believe that you are capable of doing it. So you have marketing are the two buckets. You need both awareness and authority. Both are required, and this is the key with this. Both are required. You can be aware of something, but if you don't know that they actually have the authority. So let me just say this. The example I give is, let's say you're selling some real estate. Everybody has an aunt, a cousin, somebody that's a real estate agent. Yet everyone is always asking on Facebook or social media, like, hey, who knows a good real estate agent? Even though you have the awareness of somebody being a real estate agent, doesn't mean that they have the authority of it. You need both pieces. So, and also, there's probably lots of great companies that just nobody knows about. Like, so you can be a great skilled carpenter, great skilled service, but if people don't know about it, if they don't have that awareness, then you're not actually marketing. You don't have a chance at that business. So both of these pieces are required in marketing. But the nice thing is that's it. Those two are it. And I'm going to show you here in just a couple minutes how you can use this and spend zero money. And as long as you are using both buckets, you can actually generate business. So first, though, we need both. And I want to talk about the marketing heartbeat. Needing both authority and awareness is like a heartbeat. So your heart is this pump that sits in our chest and it's pumping the blood all the time. Well, hopefully all the time, as long as we're alive. And it contracts and then relaxes and contracts and relaxes. And that is how the blood is pumped around our bodies. You need both the contraction and the heart to relax. That is how the pump actually works. You need both parts of the heart to actually work in order for you to have a functioning marketing heartbeat. You have to have both marketing, the awareness and authority piece of it. You have to have both. So think of it as a heartbeat. Anytime you're doing anything authority-wise, how can you shine awareness on it? Or anytime you have attention, like is there a way that you can demonstrate authority? Though both pieces are needed for it to be considered marketing. That's like, this is the key thing here. Think of it as your marketing heartbeat. So the way this works is you're marketing that the heartbeat of doing both awareness and authority is that pump, and you are pumping marketing into your buckets. So these buckets are where you gain your value. It's where you maintain and get to increase your skill at marketing. Or for example, to get a little bit nerdy, all of this, you may think it's nerdy already, but underneath the surface, it even gets nerdier because all of this is based in economics, which if you ever want to talk about really like marketing logic, I'm happy to go into that someday. But what I want to talk about is the accounting piece of this. If your company has accounting software and you've ever looked at a balance sheet, on there's something called goodwill. And goodwill is the piece of your business that, let's say you have a $100,000 truck. Well, when you sell your company, in theory, you want to sell it for more than your assets. The goodwill piece is what you sell it over and beyond your assets. And that is typically made up of this here, the idea that you have customer goodwill, people know about you, they're already using you. So you want to have very full buckets. Full buckets equal a more valuable business. It equals a business in the future that just generates customers without you having to pay for them, which is what we all want, right? We all want to be known as the solution to where just customers find you and you're just doing what you love, towing all the time versus having to worry about this marketing stuff. So we take the marketing heartbeat and we're filling and building our goodwill. We're building the value of our company. So just to summarize, marketing is the bridge between a problem and a solution. And now we want to take it the next step. We want to actually talk about the various things you're already doing in marketing, and we will fit them into this framework that we're looking at, the 2-bucket marketing framework. And to do that, you can go here to the 2bucketmarketing.com. You don't have to do this, but there you will find this worksheet here. The worksheet is just something that ongoing you can use to kind of keep in mind both pieces of the marketing. So I want to now, whether you're using this worksheet or not, I want to look at how we can use marketing and how can we generate business with zero, by spending zero money. So just basically awareness and authority. Okay, awareness and authority. How can we do that without spending anything? Well, the example I give is, let's say, so somebody needs to be able to see you and they need to know that you are able to tow. So what if you get a sign and you park at the corner of your community, someplace with as many click or as much traffic as possible. You park your tow truck there. You stand on the back of your truck bed with a sign that just says "I tow" or "I'm available now." And the question is, would you generate business that way? Can you make money by just like having a sign that's like available to tow right now? Busy intersection. So with the busy intersection, you have awareness. People know you're there. The authority being they see you, they see your truck, they see that you're available. Would people come over eventually and ask you to tow? And the answer is yes. Eventually, you're going to get business like this. The only thing is, do you have better things to do than to sit around with a sign all day? It doesn't sound like a very ideal life, right? But you can generate business just by doing this. People are aware of your solution and they see right now that they can see you, so they already know a little bit of your authority. If you look like a jackwagon, it's not somebody that they actually want to use, then they can just quickly go, yep, going to avoid that company. But if they see that your truck looks maintained and that you look friendly enough, they'll come over and be like, hey, I've had this truck or this car in the back of my house forever. Like, can you take this? Boom, you can have that conversation where you could potentially be the solution they're looking for. And it just happens. This is that perfect example of the awareness. They see it, they see your solution, and then the authority. they can build up and then interact with you enough to determine if they want to use you. Zero money right here. That's what you can do. The thing is realistically, we don't want to do this. This sounds like exactly what you don't want to do. Like, I don't want to do this. This is not how I want to generate business, just standing on the corner with the sign. But it shows us how we can do it with nothing. So it gives us a starting point. So let's talk about how we can get better at marketing. Let's go from here. Let's go from generating business with nothing to the elements that allow us to generate business, a lot more business. So that awareness piece, if you're out there on the corner, the people, think about the people that are going to be driving by. They're your audience, right? They're the people that are seeing you. Well, the reason why it's not going to be very effective is you're going to be sending out there for probably hours and hours and hours before somebody that actually needs a towing service will actually see you, right? The audience just doesn't need you. So since the audience doesn't need you, you're in a predicament where you're just kind of sitting there waiting. You're spending a ton of time. So we can tell that the audience matters. Now, what are some good things about it? Well, they have vehicles, right? The people driving by, we know they're drivers. So they're people with automobiles. So, the audience isn't horrible. They're based where you are, right? They're around where your service area is. We already know this because you're there. So you have drivers, service area. So we can kind of get this idea that audience, there's a target here. There's a target for us getting to the right people, those who are most ready to use our service, those who need our solution. So when we have this target, on the awareness side, we want to pursue getting to those customers that are ready to transact with us. So you start kind of on the outside. If your towing company, for example, did a Super Bowl commercial, I don't think any towing company would ever do a Super Bowl commercial, but let's say your towing company does a Super Bowl commercial, and you're just kind of just broadcasting it out to the general public. You don't know anything about them. That would be kind of like the general public. It's just you're going to spend millions of dollars, and realistically, you're just missing the mark 99.999% of the time because it's just general public. They're not people that actually matter to you. So what are the things that we need to? They need to be where you are, right? That's just, as you move in a little bit, they need to actually be where your service is provided. They need to actually need your service. Kind of basic, right? Okay, they need towing services in my area. But then you can also start to get into, there's lots of customers that want to pay as little as possible. And maybe your service, you want to make sure that you meet a certain revenue threshold. So the who matters. You need to actually make sure that they are the kind of customer that can pay the amount of money that you need to be paid to make your service worth it. So the who matters as well. And then, of course, the when, it needs to be when it matters to you. If you're out of town or something, the timing of it matters as well. But the key, that middle piece, the bullseye, is when you have a customer that has the problem that you have the solution for in your location, and they're just they're searching, they are looking for your service. I need a towing company in this area. Who are my options? That's what they're looking for, right? So this is the audience. This is what you can go from a poor audience into being a fantastic audience. If you concentrate on very little else, think of it as, who are you going to give your business card to? You want to give your business card to whoever's closest to your target audience. So who are your customers? What are they experiencing the problems? You want to be as close to it as possible. I think of it as often, a lot of times, you want to be around auto repair places or what are closest to that key target. Google, for example, when you do buy Google ads, the reason why Google ads are so stinking expensive and so important is because people are searching for towing in this area. The audience is what makes them so valuable. They are so close to that target. In fact, that's what we know. Oh, yeah, and when we talk about our example that's free, you're really kind of on the outer parts of that. Like, that's why that's not an effective version of marketing, is because you may be in the right place, but realistically they don't need towing. They might not be your right customer. The people that are probably going to come up are going to be like, hey, every towing company I've ever talked to said this is really expensive, so I've never done it. So you're going to be getting a lot of who's that don't want to spend money and things. So that it's on the outer rims. So when we talk about target, though, a lot of times on a per person basis, it's very cheap to reach somebody that's not targeted. Like, you can just go to a game and just like start yelling, "All right, I'm a towing company, I'm a towing company," and everybody's like, nobody cares, man. But when you start to get towards the middle, where there's somebody with a problem in your location, looking to transact, then that is where it starts to get expensive. So we're kind of like, how can we get to the targeted people without paying? That's the battle. How do we get the targeted, those middle customers as cheaply as possible? That's what we want to be able to accomplish. So basically, on the awareness side, we have audience, and then on the authority side, we have your message. You have your message. Your message is your package, like you packaging your authority. So this is how you communicate to the world that you provide a towing solution and that you won't create additional issues for them. That is what authority is. You communicate it through your message. And you will find that there are certain messages that are going to be better than others. So like, if you want to get good at authority, you have to be able to communicate as easily as possible your solution and your ability to provide that solution without creating additional issues. So, for example, think about why Google makes you, put such an emphasis on testimonials. Why do they want you to submit so many testimonials to them? It's a message thing. This company has the authority. They provided this service for enough people. So your testimonials, your past customers, they are a piece of that is packaging your authority. Past customers give future customers the opportunity to know that that you're likely able to provide the solution. So to kind of summarize things and bring it all together now, we have the marketing heartbeat that is pumping. You need both pieces, awareness and authority. You have to have both. So whenever you have awareness, you are adding authority. Whenever you have authority, you're adding awareness. We'll talk about how to do this here in a moment. But we're pumping them into the buckets. That's building the value. That's building that equity for your company. That is helping you become where the problem is equal to your solution. And then we communicate out of those buckets basically in the authority bucket goes out to the message. So you want to be able to communicate your authority very well through your messaging. And then your awareness is getting to the target audience. So what does good marketing look like? Good marketing is where you have a very clean message that communicates your solution and your ability to provide it to the target audience. That's it. If you do those two things, you are marketing. If you do them excellent, you're doing an excellent job of marketing. Make sense? Makes sense? So I do want to take this for a moment and I want to look at how at the different marketing that you're already doing. So feel free to mention in the chat if you have any that you're specifically doing. And what we'll do is we will go down through some of the marketing and different advertising things that a lot of towing companies are already doing and kind of put them in a framework where we can see how they compare to each other, see how we're spending our money to make sure that we do a good job of getting the most bang for our buck. So to do that, we want to, I got this here. So here's some questions that we want to kind of ask. So as we go through the different marketing you're using currently, on the awareness side, how targeted is your audience? Are they ready to transact with you? Are they the right fit for you? Are they able to pay for what the solution you have is? So how targeted is the audience? This is what we're going to ask as we go down through common examples. And then on the authority side, it is what message is possible. You'll see that in some of these, for example, the first one we'll do is billboards. When you think about a billboard, you have one static image on this one sign on the side of a highway that you have to be able to communicate the message of your authority. That's limited, right? It's difficult to communicate authority through that sign. So it's limiting in what you can do. Absolutely, lots of towing companies do it. We'll talk about that here in a minute. But then on the other piece of it is the business and life. We want to do and enjoy what we're doing, including our work. So what's the cost of it? Both the money and time. You can stand out there with a sign. It's going to take up all your time. Won't cost you any money, but there is a cost. And then the other side of it is we want to avoid the trolls and be the ideal marketing piece. So we want to do activities that avoid trolls and are closer to building that brand where we are the solution that they think of. Okay, so billboards, for example. A lot of towing companies that I talk to, they say they do. A lot of companies do billboards. In fact, I'm in Cincinnati, Ohio. I see towing companies pretty frequently that do billboard advertising. And typically it looks like a picture of their truck. In fact, it looks a lot like that the guy that says I tow. It's a picture of their truck, their phone number, and their company name. And that is what they put up on the billboard. So how targeted is that audience? So you have people driving by. So we know that they have cars. They're in the right location. So that's two critical pieces of that audience piece. Do they need you right now? No. So the problem that creates is they need to be able to remember you or find you later, right? Zooming by, they might see it, but will they be able to recall it and call you later if they need you? Really, I see billboards, and a lot of times I think, well, unless they break down at the base of that billboard, I don't see it doesn't seem to benefit much. It's more of just a general awareness ad, kind of like a McDonald's type of thing. So that's the awareness piece. So you have car drivers, general public mostly. But then on the authority piece, you're limited, right? It's just a static image. It's a picture of your truck or whatever else. How can you make the most of billboards? Here's one of the tips I want to give. That is, I would rather you stand out there with a sign than to do a billboard, just strictly from the idea of they put your picture on your billboard, you and your truck. For the love of goodness, it's one of the most valuable things I will tell you during this broadcast is use a face, not just your truck. We do not do business with tow trucks. We do business with the people behind it. If you want to communicate your authority through your print marketing, your billboards, have a face on your billboard, on your print. It is so vital that you do this. Just from the idea of let's just a moment on authority. Your service is somebody calls you up and they want you to come out and help them. They have no idea who it is that's about to show up while they're in a disabled vehicle. So they have issues of possibly safety, concerns of it. And if you are hiding your face because you think you aren't an attractive person or something, do you really want your customer the first time they see you to be when you show up in a dark parking lot with your tow truck? Put your face, put you and like in my case, at the beginning of this this presentation, it's me, my wife, my daughter. Like, this is a family-owned business. We're a small family-owned business. We want you to see the people behind it. Whether or not we're attractive doesn't really matter. We're the people behind it. Like, in fact, the thumbnail that I put out there for this presentation, in fact, let me pull it up real quick. The thumbnail I used, I purposely, like, I hate this photo. Like, this photo of me, I think it's horrible. But it doesn't matter what you, it's not about being a model. It's about communicating your authority. And we trust people more when we can see who's behind it. So on your billboard, please, you and your truck. Okay, so back to it. So that's billboards. I think it is kind of a low score if I was to rank it. It's a low score on the awareness and authority side. Probably a few $1,000s a month, depending. Maybe you can get a discount on it. But it's one of those things where a lot of times billboards, there's other things I would rather, if I would advise you to spend your money on. Okay, so how about Google Ads? A lot of companies do Google Ads. In fact, according to the people that are calling you constantly, you should be doing Google Ads. Google Ads are especially good because they allow you to get to the target audience. But then you're just stuck with text, right? It's typically just the text. It's like, hey, towing near me, or your company name. Now you're limited in, similar to like billboards have a limited visual space. Your Google Ads also, same thing, limited space. But the targeting is so good that you can very much run a Google ad in your zip code to people that are searching for towing, right? But that's also why you pay so much money. A click for somebody searching in your area for towing is going to cost you probably $5 or more. I know companies that sell calls and stuff, that, a call is same kind of thing. You're paying $10, $20 for a call because it's so targeted. But the targeting, so if we were to kind of score it on the awareness side, your audience can get really targeted. On the authority side, the best thing about it is it's linking to your website. It's linking to a way that they can get more information from you, which is an important thing. Is now you at least have a way to communicate and show them your face, show them you driving up in your truck and helping a customer, show your testimonials and so on. So that's one nice thing about it is there's more information just on the other side of that text link or banner ad. So where do motor clubs fit in? Motor clubs fit into a weird place here because motor clubs are not necessarily marketing is the thing. So your customer, when you're doing business with motor clubs, is the motor club, right? They find the customers, your customers, the motor club. So you need to have authority and awareness to the actual motor club, right? Their rotation, or what's your scores and your ability to provide services for their customers. Now, the only thing is if you remember on the handout, you want to be as far away from trolls as possible. You want to be building the ideal marketing where your solution is known as, whenever they have the problem, they think of your solution. With motor clubs, they think of the motor club, not your solution. So it's somewhere kind of on the low side, closer to probably the troll side of things. So it's a little bit of a different area. But you are out to solve the problems that motor clubs have, not necessarily the motors. So Facebook ads, very similar to Google ads. Awareness, you can get very targeted. You can target people in a specific zip code. You can target people that drive. You can target over a specific age. And then the nice thing about Facebook is your authority options are very high. You can send out videos. You can do graphical images and things that allow you to really present what you do. Like you can show your truck rolling up, like all the stuff you did on your website, you can do on your Facebook ad. Again, because the targeting is so clean, it does increase the cost though. and they're not in. This is a little marketing nerd talk, but because their intention, you'll have to kind of do more of a general awareness to a location. So they're not people that are right now looking for a towing company. So you would have to do something to where they're aware of you, but then be able to find you later on when they need your services. So that's one of the same things as a billboard. They're going to be looking for you later. They may know of you. They may think like, oh, that's the company that was funny or that educated me. I need to call them when I actually need them. But that would be a Facebook ad. So authority is high. You can communicate your authority better through a Facebook. You can target pretty well location-wise, but it's not that intent. They're not ready for you yet, which creates a little bit of they're not ready to transact. So, and then finally, my favorite solution, which would be Towing.com. Very much Towing.com, just put it through the framework. You have the authority piece of it. You get to communicate and customize a profile. Towing.com is where people expect. You type in Towing.com, what do you expect to find? Towing companies. So there's a very high authority. In fact, and then the awareness is how much traffic does it get, right? How much traffic does Towing.com get? That's your awareness in your area specifically. So it's very targeted, just a matter of whether there's enough business there for you or not. But with that said, when I started Towing.com, it was completely an authority play. I was taking the authority of the premium domain name, Towing.com. Like you think of it like any domain name, what could you possibly want as far as a domain name for the towing industry? Towing.com was it, right? Like it is the best domain name for this industry. It sounds powerful. It sounds official. In fact, in most industries, the best domain names are owned by some of the biggest businesses out there. It very much was what I consider. I went out and rescued this domain name to share it with small businesses. So way to kind of think of it is there authority there? If you're like, I'm featured on Towing.com, I'm published on Towing.com, you'll find me on Towing.com, contributing to Towing.com. It sounds like an authoritative, which it is, website over towing. So that is why I went out, like this crazy 20-something-year-old kid, that is why I spent all the money, put my house on the line to buy it, to get Towing.com. 100% was an authority play. So what we do is basically we use an authoritative domain name, and then we build up awareness through search engine optimization and people typing in Towing.com, and then we basically just share it. And instead of doing what a lot of people doing, selling per click, per call, what we do is you just pay a monthly fee. What we wanted to do was make sure that we were not a troll, right? We took everything that a troll would do and we did like the opposite. We wanted to set it up to where we were sharing Towing.com with the industry in a way that it's as close to ideal marketing as possible. And for example, it's a flat monthly fee. You pay the flat monthly fee whether you get zero or you buy trucks. Like that's the beauty of it is whether you get zero or you buy trucks or grow by 30% or any of the numerous results that companies have gotten, it's the same monthly fee. So it doesn't change. Cancel anytime. You cannot pay to be on top, which is one of the things that a lot of times marketing places do is you do all this work to get a good ranking or something, but then somebody can just pay to be above you. We made sure that wasn't the case as well. First come, first serve, or it's ranked by something that's more meaningful to our visitors. And then, of course, it's all direct. Like we're not a middleman. We are very much the phone numbers on there, direct to towing companies. So built from start to finish to be not a troll is really what it comes down to. So, which speaking of, as of this point, I want to hop out to a couple different things. I want to show you, first of all, 2bucketmarketing.com is where you can find that worksheet again. And it's been updated a little bit compared to what it was during the slides. You'll find here where you can kind of rank. You can print one of these per activity that you do. What's the cost? What's the time? Is it closer to a troll or is it closer to ideal marketing? Like, are you able to build your brand on it? And then you come down here to where the awareness and authority is. What is the problem that you help with? What's your solution targeted? Is it general public or is it getting out there to where you're precise? And then some of this other stuff we can possibly mess with another time. Then Towing.com/join. Towing.com/join is where you can come and join us as a member. We're a community of towing companies that use Towing.com to build a national brand that we all share. We're pursuing ideal marketing together, which now that you know the 2-bucket marketing framework, you can probably see all over here, all over Towing.com, how it is applied to it, which on Thursday, in 2 days, 2 p.m., I will be going step by step through Towing.com, through all the membership features, and showing you how each of the features you can layer in authority and awareness, how you can use it to generate more business. That will be over on Thursday at 2 p.m. For example, remember how I said that you should have a face on your marketing? Yes, you should have your face. Well, we have, you can add your team to your profile and so on. So there's all kinds of stuff. We want you to be able to communicate your authority because we want towing companies competing on being the best towing company, not the company that's the best marketing company. That's the thing about this world that we live in is you're going to be an internet marketing company. You're a towing company that's an internet marketing company. And if you don't add the internet marketing company to what you do, then an internet marketing company will add towing, which is why we get all these companies that aren't actually towing companies acting like they are one. And then finally, I just wanted to show you, I don't have it up. Let me go to it real quick. Towing.com/domain. Towing.com, I mentioned the authority of Towing.com. And of course, we're not just Towing.com. We are over 40 different websites, domain names, that is, heavyduty.com, records.com. All of these are for our members. We use them to benefit us to create that massive amount of authority to pass on to our members. And we will be, we do that now and in the future is kind of what it comes down to. So finally, and then tomorrow, Wednesday at 2 p.m., I am going to be doing, I am teaching on the home base marketing strategy. The home base marketing strategy is very much the exact framework that I've used in all of my successful businesses to make money, to grow. It's the marketing. We're taking the authority and awareness, the awareness authority, 2-bucket framework, that marketing heartbeat that we learned about today, and then we're giving us a place to build even more value and increase our asset as a company. That's what home base is about. You will learn why your company, like I said just a little bit ago, your towing company is an internet marketing company as well. So you're a towing internet marketing company, and like I said, if you don't add the internet marketing piece, a internet marketing company will add towing, and then we end up working for those companies. So my goal is to get you the direct business, which that requires you layering on the internet piece, which is easy enough at least. I'll show you the how and why tomorrow, 2 p.m. Join me back here on YouTube for the home base marketing strategy. Today we talked tactics. We talked the foundation of marketing in the simple marketing, Revenge of the Little Guy here. You can take these and market yourself, and then you can pay Google for the awareness they provide versus spending a bunch of time and money on them, or hopefully you can just not need Google. So there we go. Hope this has been helpful for you. I look forward to seeing you on a future training. And also, this marketing has been brought to you by all the towing companies that are supporting members of Towing.com. So if you've enjoyed this, if you've gotten something from this training and you're not a Towing.com supporting member, one, we'd love to have you as a supporting member, but two, thank you supporting member in your area. They are the ones that make this possible to cover the costs of me going and coming and talking marketing with you. All righty. With that said, take care.